हेलो बच्चों। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे ऑक्सफोर्ड मॉडर्न इंग्लिश का वन ऑफ द वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग चैप्टर and which will be very useful for your exams as well. Okay, so today we are going to study one of the chapter of Oxford Modern English, and this chapter belongs to the syllabus of class 4. I hope you all are ready to start. Okay. So kids, today I am going to explain chapter number 3 of class 4, Anansi and Five. Okay, so before moving ahead, I am going to tell you in brief that the whole story, the whole chapter revolves around these two fiction character. Okay, this is completely a fiction, the story that is based on the imagination. Once upon a time, long ago, there lived a creature called Anansi. So, in this first line, the author describes about Anansi. He addressed him as a creature, and we came to know that this story happened years ago. Okay, मतलब जो ऑथर ने स्टोरी लिखी है उन्होंने इमेजिन करा है कि ये जो कैरेक्टर है ये बहुत टाइम पहले का है. Sometimes Anansi was a spider, sometimes he was a man, and other times he was a strange mix of the two. So we have all seen Spider-Man. मूवी नहीं देखी होगी तो पिक्चर ज़रूर देखी होगी, कोई ना कोई उसकी कार्टून देखा होगा, या जो उसके टॉयज़ भी आते हैं वो भी हमने देखे होंगे, है ना. सब बच्चों ने देखे ऑलमोस्ट, जिन्होंने नहीं देखे वो ज़रूर देखना. तो लाइक Spider-Man, why he is called Spider-Man? Because he has the quality of a spider as well as of a man. So same with Anansi, that he is a mixture of the two. Of the two कौन? He is a mixture of spider and a man. उसके पास spider की भी quality है और उसके पास man की भी qualities हैं. Anansi was a trickster and he was having a difficult time. Now the word trickster, what is the word trickster means? Mischievous or विकेट, कि कोई बहुत शैतान चालाक जो होता है उससे बोलते हैं नॉटी नहीं. इट्स ट्रिक्स्टर मीन्स मिस्चिवस, जो दूसरे के लिए कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करता है. तो अनांसी को यहाँ पे क्या बताया गया? ट्रिक्स्टर. इफ़ योर मैम इज गोइंग टू आस्क हु इज एड्रेस्ड और हु वाज कॉल्ड अ ट्रिक्स्टर इन द स्टोरी, इट्स अनांसी. ओके, and he was having a difficult time. Whenever we are involved in something bad, तो ऑब्वियसली हमें जो रिवॉर्ड में मिलता है वापस भी हमें डिफ़िकल्टी फेस करनी पड़ती है, हमारे साथ भी कुछ रॉन्ग होता है ना. तो सेम विद अनांसी. ओके, वो ऑलवेज गलत काम में इन्वॉल्व रहता था, किसी का भी अच्छा नहीं सोचता था. ही ऑलवेज थॉट अबाउट हिमसेल्फ, नेवर अबाउट हिज फैमिली और अदर पर्सन. तो ही ऑलवेज रिमेन्ड इन द डिफ़िकल्ट टाइम. He had no money to buy food for his family. And what kind of difficulty he had to face? That he did not have money to buy food for himself as well as for his family. As he walked around the village early one morning, he had a scowl on his face and a growl in his stomach. So scowl means, it means the angry kind of expression. When we meet frowny face, गुस्से वाला जब हम face बनाते हैं, that is called scowl. And growl means some weird sound that started coming from our stomach because we are empty stomach for a long time. तो एक दिन जब वो खाली था, उसके पास कुछ काम तो था नहीं, तो अर्ली मॉर्निंग सुबह सुबह he was walking here and there in his village. Okay, when he was walking, and it can be easily seen the frowniness or anger on his face. And why we can see that anger? Why he was angry without any reason? Because he was hungry. Okay, when we are hungry तो हम without any reason जल्दी जल्दी irritate होते हैं, हमें गुस्सा आता है. तो same with Anansi. And had a growl in his stomach. और जब हमारा बहुत पेट जो होता है, हमारा स्टमक होता है empty होता है बहुत long time से, then also we start having some kind of weird sound, like गुड़ kind of sound started coming from our stomach. So this is the thing. Passing by a neighbor's house, Anansi heard something that pleased him. When he was walking in his village, he passed by one of his neighbor's house. Okay, वो एक अपने नेबर के घर से गुजरता है, उसके पास से निकलता है और वहाँ पे वो सुनता है कि कुछ बात हो रही है, कुछ आवाज़ें आ रही है, some kind of voices have been coming from that house, and these voices, these things that he heard really gave him some kind of pleasure, enjoyment. उन बातों को सुन के उसे बहुत मज़ा आता है, उसे हैप्पीनेस मिलती है. वाई? वो अब हम आगे पढ़ते हैं. द नेबर वॉज एन ओल्ड विच. अब वो किसका हाउस था? जो वो when he was walking he passed by one of his neighbor's house, and who was the neighbor? His neighbor was an old witch. Okay, if ma'am is going to ask who was the neighbor of Anansi, okay, the old witch was the neighbor of Nancy. She was an angry and unpleasant witch who became furious whenever anyone said her name. So she was also angry and unhappy like Anansi, but there was difference between both the anger. Anansi was angry because of the hunger, but old witch was angry because of some other reason. And what was the reason? The reason was her name. ऐसा होता है कोई अपने नेम से एंग्री हो जाता है कि कोई भी उसका नेम ले और वो एंग्री हो जाए. ऐसा क्या था उसका नेम जो सबको उसको एंगर आने लगता था? शी हेटेड हर नेम. उससे अपना नेम बहुत गंदा लगता था. शी हेटेड इट. All through her life, people had laughed, looked surprised when they heard what her name was. And what was the reason why she did not like her name? Because all through her life, the people who met her, जो भी उससे मिला है, they all made fun of her name. सबने उसके नेम का मजाक बनाया है. सरप्राइजिंगली बोला है, अरे ये कैसा नेम है? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अजीब नेम इट इज़. कितना अजीब वियर्ड नेम है. ये किसने रखा आपका नेम? ये कोई नेम है? कैन यू गेस व्हाट हर नेम वॉज? आप सब गेस कर सकते हो? हु इज़ गोइंग टू टेल मी? चलो जल्दी से मम्मा को बताओ. इट वॉज फाइव. तो क्या है उसका नेम? फाइव. आपने कभी सुना है किसी का नेम 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? नेवर ना, हमने किसी का नेम नहीं सुना. सेम उसकी पेरेंट्स ने उसका नेम 5 रख दिया, ओल्ड विच का नेम. तो सब उसे बहुत सरप्राइजिंगली मेड फन करते थे, उसका मजाक बनाते थे. अरे मम्मी पापा ने कैसा नेम रख दिया 5? ये 5 कोई नंबर, कोई नेम कोई ना होता है. इट इज़ अ नंबर. कैसा अजीब सा नेम है. तो इसलिए उसे अपना नेम अच्छा नहीं लगता था. Anansi peeked through a gap in the witch fence. See, can you see this garden? There is the old witch. Okay, there was old witch and Anansi was there, and he was peeked through these fence. वो इन fence के बीच में से ऐसे peek करके झांक कर देख रहा है. He was looking through these fence. She was stirring her big cooking pot and muttering and mumbling a spell. As you can see what she was doing. लाइक जब मम्मा आपके कुकर में, प्रेशर कुकर में या किसी भी कढ़ाई में खाना कुक करती हैं तो बिग लेडल से उसे चलाती रहती है ना, स्टर करती रहती हैं. तो सेम ओल्ड विच वॉज डूइंग. शी वॉज कुकिंग समथिंग इन दिस बिग pot, cooking pot, and there is one ladle, big ladle in his hands, and she was stirring it like this. Okay, and while stirring she was mumbling and muttering. Mumbling and muttering means to speak something very slowly. मन मन में कुछ कहना, बहुत धीरे धीरे कुछ कहना. तो कुछ कह रही थी. She was mumbling and muttering a spell. Spell मतलब वो मैजिक मंत्र बोल रही थी. The smoke and sparks were blue and green, so Anansi knew she was cooking up some big magic. तो जब वो कुक कर रही थी, जब मम्मा कुक करते हैं तो स्मोक निकलता है ना, धुआं निकलता है, कुछ अच्छी अच्छी खुशबू आती है, यम्मी यम्मी टेस्टी वाली. तो सेम जब वो बिग मैजिक कुक कर रही थी तो उस पॉट में से ब्लू एंड ग्रीन कलर का स्पार्क निकल रहा था, फायर निकल रहा था, एंड ऑल्सो स्मोक निकल रहा था. एंड थ्रू विच नांसी केम टू नो दैट an old witch was cooking some big ब्लैक मैजिक, कुछ वो मैजिक प्रिपेयर कर रही है. Okay, तो how he came to know, how Anansi came to know that an old witch was cooking some magic? Because of the spark that was coming out from the pot. Suddenly, she snatched up her staff and started to pound it on the ground as she walked around the pot. तो suddenly means एकदम से she is used for an old witch. Snatched means to pick or to hold something quickly, very roughly. हर स्टाफ मीन्स मैजिक वॉन्ड और मैजिक स्टिक जो होती है, उसने अपने इस मैजिक स्टिक को उठाया, मैजिक वॉन्ड को उठाया एंड स्टार्टेड टू पाउंडेड मीन्स ऐसे जोर जोर के उसे शी स्टार्टेड पाउंडेड ऑन द ग्राउंड पे मारने लगी और जो उसका मैजिक मंत्र था उसे वो मम्बलिंग करने लगी. एज शी वॉक्ड अराउंड द पॉट. सो व्हेन शी वाज डूइंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट स्नैच्ड हर स्टिक एंड स्टार्ट पाउंडिंग इट ऑन द ग्राउंड व्हाइल शी वाज वॉकिंग अराउंड द पॉट. जब वो इस पॉट के राउंड मूव कर रही थी, then she started doing all these things. Anansi listened carefully to what she said, and Anansi was standing still and tried to listen everything whatever she was saying at that time. I curse anyone who says the word five to disappear forever. And what magic she was preparing? She was preparing a magic that whosoever was going to speak the word five, जो भी five बोलेगा वो क्या हो जाएगा, एकदम से disappear हो जाएगा. Okay, like I said 1 and you said 2, I said 3, you said 4, and if I said 5, then I'm going to disappear. Okay, so this was the magic, and we are going to study, or we are going to read ahead. Okay, and then we came to know that Nancy was a very bad kind of fellow. Okay, she never thought any good for anyone, and as he heard everything from an old witch, he thought immediately that he is going to use this magic mantra for his own advantage. ओके, उसको सिर्फ अपने से मतलब था कि मेरे लिए अच्छा होना चाहिए, वेदर मेरे एक्शन से किसी को कुछ गलत हो, किसी के साथ कुछ रॉन्ग हो. बट दिस इज़ वेरी बैड ना. आई होप इतना तो अच्छे से क्लियर हुआ है आपको. तो हमें क्या पता लगा अनांसी के बारे में, दैट शी इज़ काइंड ऑफ अ स्ट्रेंज क्रिएचर who is like a spider as well as a man, and sometimes he behaves like both. Okay, spider की तरह भी behave करता है और man की तरह भी behave करता है. कैसे हमें पता लगा कि वैसे वो spider है, बट उसकी thinking कैसी है, वो कैसे सोच रहा है. He was thinking like a man. Okay, and he was completely a wicked person, wicked kind of fellow, wicked kind of spider, and also mischievous, who created problems for everyone, for even his family as well. And he was very angry because of the hunger that he had to face. Now the other character is an old witch who was the neighbor of Nancy, and she did not like her name. She was preparing some big magic for all those who are going to speak the word five to disappear them. Okay, clear? कौन था? Who was the neighbor of Nancy? Old witch. Who was cooking the big magic, black magic? An old witch. Okay, and while preparing the black magic, how Nancy came that she was doing some kind of magic work? Because blue and green color spark were coming out. Okay, clear? Okay, bye bye.